Let's keep it simple. What do you rather see? You rather see Fury Joyce? You rather see Fury Usyk?
Just Fury in a fight with one of those guys. I don't really care. I just don't want to see him in with White and Chisoras because we know when he fights guys that have a very low ring IQ and are physically strong, it only ends one way, and those guys get knocked out or stopped. It's just we don't need to see what that fight looks like. I get that the British public is very easy to trick. They're like, "Oh man, this guy's talking a big game," and it's like, "Oh yeah, but you forget they're not talented." Dillian White, he fought nobody. His biggest win was Joe Parker when there was a head clash. Oh yeah, he's gonna win on toughness. That works against a guy like Fury. So just I want to see him in with a world class fighter because I truly think that Tyson Fury is one of the five best heavyweights ever. I think he's the best heavyweight we've had since Lennox Lewis, probably. I think he's better than Klitschko. And he basically brought back the heavyweight division.
So I think I'm one of the rare few who kind of feels like Usyk is not the favorite. I just see it as a legitimate 50-50 fight between him and Fury. And the reason I think that is that the main way for Fury to take advantage of his physical advantages is to put his weight on him, lean on him, shove him around, da da da. You know how that goes. The difference between Usyk and somebody like Deontay Wilder or somebody, like Otto Wallin is Usyk is not going to stand there or be there to be muscled around or to be shoved on the ropes. He's a guy who's in motion. What are your thoughts on that? And how do you think that Tyson Fury would be able to use his size in the same way against Usyk?
I mean, it's an interesting equation. I just think Fury's too big. I think that Usyk's very talented, but the Usyk that fought Joshua could have lost that fight to Joshua. Joshua just fought a terrible fight. And I feel like if that Usyk fights Fury, he doesn't beat Fury because Fury doesn't make those mistakes Joshua does. And Fury's bigger than Joshua and smarter and more talented. So I think that a lot of Usyk is a tremendous fighter, but we also got to remember Joshua is one of the most overrated fighters in the last 20 years too. So this is kind of like a moment for Fury to become an all-time great, and he doesn't necessarily have to fight someone. Not to say Usyk isn't an all-time great, but he could become an all-time great by fighting a littler man that people might overvalue, and he might have a dramatic edge over.
I could see it. And that, again, that's why I think it's a 50-50 fight. I could see Fury being too big. I could also see a world where Tyson is not in the most disciplined place and Usyk trains like a motherfucker and has the night of his life and Fury can't keep
Fury's
up.
going to be motivated for that one.
I think you're probably right. I think when it comes down to it, he's another guy that when he took that first Wilder fight a couple months into his comeback, I was like, yo, this is kind of fucking wild that he's doing this. But that's just he's always had that chutzpah. You know what I mean?
When it's a legacy fight, Fury's a different guy. Like he looked good in this Chisora fight, but I wouldn't be shocked if he trained for like 2 weeks. Like it's like when he fights Chisora, Dillian White, even Anthony Joshua, it's like he can do a month training camp. He'll stop him. But it's like with Usyk, he really has to do a 3 month camp and train. For Wilder with power, he had to really train. That third fight, I'm not sure he fully trained because he looked a little heavier and he didn't look as sharp. Maybe those happen.
He looked heavier and he was lighter.
That's the issue, right? When you look heavier, but you're lighter.